What's going on, everyone? So, according to Jake Weinbach, the Brooklyn Nets are expected to be sellers sooner rather than later. That they very well won't be waiting till the trade deadline. So, here is exactly what he said. He says the Nets are expected to become sellers on the trade market sooner rather than later. There is a sense around the league that Brooklyn would prefer building for the future over campaigning for a playoff push this season. Nets are currently tied for 7th in the East at 8 and 10. So again, this is something that he said this yesterday. I think the Nets, didn't they win last night? So maybe they're 9 and 10 now. But point is that the Nets want to kind of they know that they're not winning a championship or anything like that with the current core, with the current group. So they kind of want to retool. They kind of want to regroup. It's what we keep hearing about from the Brooklyn Nets. I've seen some people question, like, why would they want to do that? They're a team that, look, they're winning. The players are. The players don't want to tank. The players don't want to lose. You think the players don't have pride and don't want to win games? And you hear that every time. Teams that purposely tank, teams that know, even the players know, okay, we're purposely tanking this year. Even they go out and try to win games. Coaches try to go out and win games, right? Why? Because they're competitors. They don't want to lose. They don't want to lose 15 straight games, especially a team like the Nets, who they have a bunch of really good players and a bunch of guys that are having really good seasons, right? But the organization itself knows, hey, we're not going anywhere with this group. It's not a bunch of 23-year-olds that are doing this. It's Dennis Schroeder, who's 30, 31, right? Cam Johnson's 28, right? Which isn't old, but if you're going to take 3, 4, 5 years to rebuild and retool and reshape this roster, then yeah, by the time you're ready to go, he's, 31, 32, right? Which still isn't that old, right? But still, it's not. How much longer do you have of him? Plus his injury history. The most games he's ever played in a season were 66 games. Right? There's questions that remain there. And if you can get a bunch of assets, a bunch of pieces, they have their pick this year, so they go get Cooper Flag or something like that. Even if they don't land Flag, you have a bunch of other, this draft is looked at all the way through the mid first round as quality pieces, quality players that the first, top 7, 8 guys supposedly would all have been number 1 picks in this previous draft. So that tells you how bad this previous draft was, which you see outside of Jared McCain, Dalton Connect, obviously, which is, I'm glad we got one of those guys. Zach Edey on occasion, but he's also older, just bigger than everybody and a veteran for rookie standards. No one else has really stood out. No one else is really there's been a couple gems, a couple guys on a couple teams that have had some nice runs, but that are really oh wow, these guys could be something. Oh, you basically got 2, 3 guys in this last draft. This next draft, you have 15 of them, including a brother of a Laker and Nolan Traore, right? Armel Traore's brother. But you look at kind of, again, the Brooklyn Nets. They solve all of the Lakers' problems. Literally all of the Lakers' problems. You have Dennis Schroeder, that gives you a point of attack, 3-and-D guard. You have a Dorian Finney-Smith and a Cam Johnson that both are legit 3-and-D guys, can slot in and essentially play 2 through 4 if you need them to. Both are kind of more threes, but if you needed to in a pinch, they could play all 3 positions, defend 1 through 4, right? That's huge. That's valuable. All 3 guys are having excellent seasons, right? So that would be good too. Dorian Finney-Smith is shooting 40, 41% from 3 on 5 attempts. Cam Johnson's having himself a season. Dennis Schroeder's having the best season of his career this year, right? The dude's just been ridiculous. And then you add in a Day'Ron Sharpe, a Nick Claxton. Now, personally, I've said I would if we could get Nick Claxton, get Nick Claxton. Right? If there's a path realistically to get Nick Claxton, but if it's only Nick Claxton, if it's you have to give up both first and give up everything for Nick Claxton, then no. To me, I would rather just let teams stumble over themselves for Nick Claxton. Also, Nick Claxton's young enough to where he could stick around for the rebuild. He's 25, right? So 3, 4, 5 years, he's, at worst 30. So he's now getting into his prime and doing his thing, right? So I don't think that they would I don't think that they would be in a rush to trade Claxton, but based on reports, nobody is untradeable on that roster. Like, you can get whoever you want. The whole roster's open. Take your pick. Obviously, prices matter. It has to be the right price. They're not just going to give guys away. They're not, oh, here you go. You can have Claxton for a second. Like, you're not going to get anything like that. So, to me, it's like, let everyone go after, Cam Thomas is another one. He just got hurt, but he's only going to be out a couple weeks. He's young. He's cheap for now. He's going to need a new contract next season, right? He's been fantastic for the Brooklyn Nets. Teams are going to want him. Teams are going to stumble over themselves. He could miss the rest of the season, which, knock on wood, you never want to see happen. He could miss the rest of the season, and teams would line up to go trade for him, right? Like, because he is so young, and you've seen what he can do, right? And a lot of teams would be like, hey, we could use that guy, in the starting role, off the bench, whatever, right? To me, it's like, let teams stumble and fall all over themselves for a Cam Thomas and a Nick Claxton, right? Don't get me wrong, I would love either. Don't get me wrong, I would love to get both, right? Like, give me that. But I don't think the Lakers have the assets to compete with some of these other teams. And two, while everybody's focused on those guys, you could come in and sneak through the back door and, take the real things of value and get out, right? Go get a Dennis Schroeder. Go get a Dorian Finney-Smith. Go get a Cam Johnson. Go get a Day'Ron Sharpe. And the thing is like, outside of Cam Johnson, like, none of those guys are like a first, right? Like, the Nets and even the Mavericks were trying to get a first for years for Dorian Finney-Smith. Literally trying to get first for years for Dorian Finney-Smith. And now they're just not going to do it. Like, teams aren't willing to give up a first for him. He's a very good role player. He is one of the better 3-and-D role players. But he can be inconsistent, right? Like, his three-point shot, he's never been this, like, lights-out three-point shooter. He's good. He's a very good player. And he's having a very good season. Don't get me wrong. But he's a very good role player. He's not your second option. He's not your third option, right? He's not your guy. Right? He is more of like, if he's your fourth, fifth best player, you're probably in a really good spot. Right? Like, if the Lakers were able to get him, Cam Johnson, Dorian Finney-Smith, and like a Day'Ron Sharpe, Lakers are in very good place. At that point, let's go win an NBA championship. Because you've solved all your needs, all your holes, right? Like, literally, your starting five could be 3 of those 4 guys you just got. You could do Dennis Schroeder, Dorian Finney-Smith, Cam Johnson, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. Probably won't happen. So what they'll probably do is they'll probably keep Austin Reeves. So probably be like Dennis Schroeder, Austin Reeves, Cam Johnson, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis, which is fine. I'd like that, but I just really like the idea of Reeves coming off the bench and really having that two-way attack, start games with that punch right out the gate. Got versatility, you got defense, you got everything you need. I prefer that more. But, if we're being honest, the Lakers are going to start Austin Reeves, which is fine, right? Austin Reeves is good. He's not your like third best player, good, but now you would have like a Cam Johnson. Again, now Austin Reeves is like your fourth best player, and then now Dorian Finney-Smith is like your fifth best player. Right? Like, that's a big difference now. Right now, you're just in a very different shape. Dennis Schroeder is like your fifth best player. Right, very different shape than right now, where it's like, okay, well, we have Austin Reeves and then a rookie that has essentially been our fourth best player. You could argue has been the third most consistent. Right? I mean, consistency-wise. Dalton Knecht has been the third most consistent, which is crazy. Because, again, he is a rookie, and he's your third most consistent. So, look, the Nets are the team that even reports, Anthony Irwin, I believe it was, even said that, like, Rob Pelinka has been diligent on the phone talking to the Nets. Sean Marks and Rob Pelinka do have a good relationship, so that's good. That's something to keep in mind, right? They have good, like, they've had dinners together, they've hung out together, right? They were working hard on trying to figure out a Kyrie deal a couple years ago. That probably would have gotten done if it wasn't for the Nets owner and Joe Tsai. The Nets owner and Joe Tsai said, absolutely not, I'm not trading him to the Lakers, because that's where he wanted to go. If he wanted to go to, like, Dallas, he'd probably be a Laker right now, right? But instead, he wanted to go to the Lakers, and Joe Tsai, out of spite, was like, no, he's going to a team, give me the second best offer, and it was, the Dallas Mavericks. So there is a relationship there that's good. They've built this relationship together that's good. So you could see a path of things potentially getting done. You can see a path of these guys working on a deal to get a Dorian Finney-Smith. I hope you get more, though. right? Like, don't get me wrong, if you just get Dorian Finney-Smith, that's fine, right? As long as you're making other moves, because Dorian Finney-Smith by himself does help the Lakers, but it doesn't solve all the Lakers' problems. It does help a lot because now you have a legit 3-and-D guy, but it doesn't solve all their problems. So to me, I hope that you get like a Dorian Finney-Smith and like a Day'Ron Sharpe, or a Dorian Finney-Smith and a Dennis Schroeder, and then, and then now you have those guys, and then now you're going and getting, whatever, a Walker Kessler or something, right? Like, that's my hope. That's what I hope we see the Lakers do. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you think, like, yes, you got to stay on top of the Brooklyn Nets? The Brooklyn Nets are the team that have all your answers, that can solve all of your issues, that can solve all your holes, because they are. Like, seriously, they are the team that has everything you need across the board. You look at them, again, you need a guard, we got a guard. You need some wings, we got two. You need a center, we got Day'Ron Sharpe, right? Like, what do you need, right? Here you go. Take whatever you want. It's just, to me, it's going to boil down to the cost. What is the cost to acquire these guys? But again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.